For about 8 years, it was the most anticipated video game in the world. A promise of a sprawling, dense, and unprecedented sci-fi future. When Cyberpunk 2077 finally arrived in December of 2020, it didn't just launch, it exploded, literally, sending shockwaves through the industry. The initial release was a beautiful disaster, marred by an unforgivable technical state, especially on previous generation consoles. The game became a cautionary tale, a symbol of overhyped promises and development crunch. Yet that is only half of the story. Over 3 years, through immense cost, dedication, and one of the most remarkable turnarounds in gaming history, CD Projekt Red fought tooth and nail for redemption. This isn't just a retrospective of a game. It's a chronicle of a failure, an apology, and the eventual triumph of an unparalleled artistic vision. This is a story of Cyberpunk 2077, from broken promise to certified masterpiece. The hype was in fact very fucking real, fueled by CD Projekt Red's legacy with The Witcher 3 and an estimated development and marketing budget nearing $450 million. 8 million copies of the game were pre-ordered, but the reality was a technical catastrophe. While the PC version was playable, but mostly buggy, the versions released on the base PlayStation 4 and Xbox One were, broken. The launch controversy stemmed from two key areas, the first being a technical state. The sheer volume of game-breaking bugs, graphical glitches, and instability leading to Sony's unprecedented decision to pull the game from its digital store and offer mass refunds. 2. Marketing and disclosure. The crucial failure to provide console review codes before launch, suggesting a deliberate attempt to conceal the game's condition. This shattered trust and led to accusations of false advertising. Beneath the bugs, fans felt the initial game lacked the deep RPG systems and emergent sandbox gameplay that had been promised. The police system was rudimentary, the core attributes felt disconnected from the world, and many systems, like vehicle combat and advanced AI behavior, were simply absent or laughably shallow. It was clear the game was released prematurely, a decision likely driven by external pressure, leaving the development team with a colossal task at hand. I personally didn't play the game at launch because of the, state of the game. It was very broken. Also, for me personally, I don't really buy single player games at launch because they always go on sale and, they have all the patches already there. I don't have to wait for them to patch the game. So I never actually got to experience all the game-breaking bugs, but when I did buy it, I can't remember exactly when I bought it, but I bought it, I think a little bit before the DLC released, the Phantom Liberty. And even then, it was kind of buggy, but it wasn't like, holy shit, I can't play it. Yeah, it was quite unfortunate, that the game launched the way it did, because, I myself was hyped for it. I did play Witcher 3, and, CD Projekt Red did have this reputation of being, really good developers and pretty good at their job. But I think they just, it was obviously the overhype, and not gonna lie, probably some executives up top telling them to just fucking release the game and who cares and just patch it later. Which really sucked because it really, put a stain on their reputation, like I said before, and it took them a long time to fucking, I wouldn't say they're back at what they are, where they used to be with the Witcher series, but they definitely climbed back up with their reputation and their fan, vision, I guess. Despite the technical flaws, the underlying artistry was undeniable. Night City is perhaps the most realized and densely detailed fictional setting in gaming history. Inspired by Mike Pottsmith's original Cyberpunk tabletop RPG, the city is a feast of transhumanism, corporate tyranny, and a vibrant street culture. Every district, from the neon-drenched glitz of Japantown to the sprawling, dusty Badlands, has its own character, socioeconomic identity, and visual language. And that's something that I really fucking love about the game is the city itself. It's something so, I mean, I wouldn't say unique because the cyberpunk theme has been around for, fucking forever. But having to experience it like in a game like this, where it's so detailed, it feels really fucking real in my opinion. Every time I walked or drove in the game, I couldn't stop but just to move my mouse and look everywhere around me, because to me it's something fucking magical, I guess. And I don't know, it's just the city itself, you can argue the city itself is a character because, the whole thing about Night City is that everyone there, I don't know, it's just, it's kind of hard to explain, but the city does feel alive and it does feel real. And I cannot get enough of the way the city looks in the game. Now, the story of the game is something that I did not expect at all. It seemed very unique and crazy. The narrative revolving around the mercenary V and the digital ghost of rock legend Johnny Silverhand is genuinely compelling. It explores deep, complex themes. What defines a soul? Where does technology end and humanity begin? And what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind when you know your time is up? The relationship between V and the antagonist, yet eventually sympathetic, Silverhand is the beating heart of the game. Brilliantly written and performed. Having someone like Johnny Silverhand in your head is just fucking crazy, because in the lore, spoilers I guess if you haven't fucking played the game, he is considered a terrorist to your normal person, but someone like us, someone like V, you as the player, Johnny Silverhand, I don't know, he's not a terrorist. He's only a terrorist because he fucking shit on a corporate, fucking building, like these fucking billionaires and millionaires who shit on the city, who shit on the poor. So he's a terrorist. It kind of reflects real life, the laws in real life. The politicians worship the fucking millionaires, the billionaires, and fuck everyone else. I'm not gonna get political in this video, but it does reflect the, real life, and how we're, heading towards a cyberpunk dystopian fucking future. You can argue it, or you can argue that we're already there, except with all the fucking cool futuristic tech. But yeah, and then Keanu Reeves obviously playing Johnny, like, I don't see, I hear Keanu, but I don't see his like popular characters like Neo or John Wick. Like, he is Johnny Silverhand, and the way he plays him is just like his character arc and the way he changes is just so, it feels so real. It feels natural when you're progressing through the game, and the choices that you make with Johnny really reflects his character growth and how he treats you and how you guys become friends or enemies depending on how you play the game. And speaking of playing the game, because this is the game, it's not real, CDPR's quest design philosophy, inherited from The Witcher 3, shines through. The side jobs are often as complex and emotionally resonant as the main story, featuring incredible characters like the tech-savvy braindance editor Judy Alvarez and the gnome powerhouse Panam Palmer. These quests often offer genuine moral ambiguity and long-term consequences, giving V's journey weight and defying the available final endings. Now, I'm currently doing my second playthrough. I'm almost done. I literally had to do the meet Hanako at Embers mission. I'm still finishing a few side quests. And the first time I played the game, it was with my 2060 Super, meaning that it was barely running. I had to turn on DLSS and play at the lowest possible settings, and even then, I was barely hitting fucking 60 to 90 frames. So the game looked like shit, and it was unplayable for me. I know maybe PC elitists, whatever, console can play at 30 FPS at low settings, whatever. So the first time I played the game, what I'm trying to get at, the first time I played the game, I didn't really enjoy or really sat through the missions, the story, and the characters of the game. I kind of want to just get it done and because it was not a good experience. I don't know. I mean, I liked it, but you know, I just went to the main story for the most part. So I clicked with some of the characters, but not all of them. And during my second playthrough, I'm actually trying my best to do every single fucking side mission. And now that I'm actually able to play the game at a high frame rate with high settings, I can actually enjoy the art, enjoy the scenery, and you know, play without having to lower my settings because my FPS is dropping below 60. So now that I'm able to play, I took my time with the game and I started to experience the side missions that I didn't experience the first time I played it. And yeah, like I said before, even the side missions they kind of seem like the main quest. Like, they're so well written that they feel like they are part of the main story technically, but you don't have to do them. Obviously, they're side missions for a reason, but I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't do them. Like you're not experiencing the whole Cyberpunk universe if you don't do those missions. And the things I saw, the Easter eggs, the references to other games and other, you know, pop culture things. Like, one of my favorite Easter eggs / references is when you're helping this guy with like one of the gangs, the Tiger Claws, I believe. And it's a fucking good reference to The Office, the episode where Daryl and the Japanese guy are like talking how the Japanese guy was a surgeon in Japan, but he left because he, quote unquote, accidentally killed the Yakuza boss, but you know, obviously he killed him on purpose, so he fled to the US. So they put that scene from The Office in the game as a side mission, and I thought that was fucking funny. So things like that really make, okay, that's more of a fun Easter egg, fun reference, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, there are certain things of the game just make it seem so fucking real. Moving on, the true turning point was not a DLC. Well, it was later, but not right now. But a massive free overhaul, Update 2.0. This was not a patch. It was a redesign, effectively creating the game that CD Projekt Red should have launched. The update fundamentally changed the way the game felt and played. Some examples include the police system, police AI actively pursuing V, roadblocks being set up, and max tag forces arriving for higher wanted levels, like in fucking GTA. The perk system, now completely new, simplified, yet deeper perk tree with meaningful game-changing abilities like overclock or netrunners. And, you know, they have the refund points now, because the game didn't have refund points, so if you put a point in something you didn't want, tough shit. The combat system, vehicle combat, shooting from cars, using mounted weapons. In the beginning, that wasn't there, or it was ass. Cyberware integration, which ties armor and defense directly to the cybernetics, forcing players to manage their chrome capacity like an actual Cyberpunk character. There was a limit. Cyberware are basically like your perks. You know, it's like, oh, when you level this up, you get that or whatever. And there was this bar. If you went over the bar, it's when you go to you become Cyber Psycho, like in the lore. Because in the lore of Cyberpunk, if you have too much fucking, you know, cyber shit, you go insane. Oh, spoilers for Edgerunners. These were seismic shifts. The new police AI instantly made the city feel more reactive and dangerous. The revamped perking cyberware systems forced players to commit to specific build types, dramatically increasing the depth and replayability of the RPG element. Armor was removed from the clothing, making your appearance purely aesthetic, and your defense tied directly to your choices at the Ripper Dock. Cyberpunk 2077 finally had the mechanical skeleton to support its vast, ambitious world. Now, this is where things get a bit, I wouldn't say controversial, but like, I've read online, and I've read, you know, I guess Nexus mods, I guess, if that counts, that the RPG system still wasn't up to par or like what people expected it to be compared to like The Witcher 3. But in my opinion, I think it was still pretty good. 2.0 really made it feel like an RPG, like you were V, and buying and leveling up all the shit that you as the player wanted. And the reason I'm saying this is because, you know, Nexus Mods, they had like a bunch of mods for better RPG or better perk system, better trees, perk trees, whatever. So I think people were still kind of just not satisfied with the direction that CD Projekt Red was going with. But I don't know. I didn't really play with mods. I honestly didn't feel like the game needed mods. Yeah, maybe there's some mods that were kind of useful, but nah, not for me. I'm not gonna talk about the DLC right now because one, I haven't really played it, and two, because I kind of feel like it's relatively fresh, so people don't really want to get that shit spoiled. I will play it after I beat my playthrough of the base game. We're not just going to talk about the base game and its issues. Although I will say that the DLC is, or was, much better received than the base game at launch. And the tone is a bit different than the base game. That's all I know. That's all I'm going to say. So just, you know, moving on. The story of Cyberpunk 2077 is a macrocosm of its central themes: ambition, hubris, and an unrelenting fight for survival and identity. The initial launch was a betrayal of player trust, a technical failure rooted in corporate pressure. Yet the subsequent years of dedication, culminating in the 2.0 update and the Phantom Liberty expansion, represent one of the most remarkable acts of redemption in video game history. And yes, say what you want, like, you know, games release broken, games that are never finished, you know, Suits and corpos are pushing the creatives to do nothing and just release a fucking broken game. But you have to give them credit when credit is due. They fixed it. The game runs well. It plays well. The actual game itself is a fun RPG. The story is amazing. It's immersive. The world building, the city, the characters, everything about the game is, I wouldn't say flawless, obviously, but they really fucking sat down on their asses and fixed it. You know, it's kind of like No Man's Sky. It's another No Man's Sky situation. Back in 2016, almost fucking 10 years ago, No Man's Sky released fucking empty. There was nothing to do. It was broken. There was nothing to explore. And fast forward 10 years and the game is overwhelming. Like, you have to actually put so many hours into that game to, you know, experience its full potential. So, credit where credit is due. They fucking fixed the crap out of the game. As mentioned before, if you play the game in its current state, Cyberpunk 2077 is not just a great game. It's a masterpiece of world building and character design, a crowning achievement in environmental storytelling. Its legacy is complex, a cautionary tale about release schedules, but also a shining example of a developer never giving up on its original vision. It's a dense, emotionally gripping, and visually stunning RPG that fully earns its place among the pantheon of modern classics. So, what was your most memorable moment in Night City? What did you like about the game? What did you hate? Let me know down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.